Good morning, everyone, and happy Hump Day, February 15th, 2023. And Hannah and I have hit our 12th state of Oklahoma on this blazing a trail to Jesus for Jesus. We have had all kinds of events happen along the way, and it was really cool when we arrived in Oklahoma. We stopped at the um, first rest stop that had a welcome center. And I said, I've never been to Oklahoma before, and we're not on a time schedule. I said, so what would you recommend? I said, because the interstate, you're not really seeing much of anything, not real exciting. So he said, you need to go on Route 66. So lo and behold, we go on Route 66 and come to the Big Whale. So I pull in, not thinking, because we had a ton of rain most of the morning until like 11 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, I should probably move over where there's actually parking places because she wanted to get out and walk around. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize how much rain had accumulated because the Jeep was sinking and sliding in the dirt, sand, whatever. So that was quite an interesting ordeal since it was my first encounter with mud and the Jeep. Bianca 007 is her name. And I feel like Sarah Connor every time I start driving, because I'm on a mission for him, for God, for Jesus. So kept going back and forth and finally got myself out, but left a path. And another Jeep pulled up. And I said, yeah, I did that. I said, don't park over there. And he giggled at me because I was like, I am not going to get a man to help me get out of this. I can do this myself. I'm not dumb. I can do this. So it's been eye-opening, though, what I've seen. Each state I go to, thus far, the most chemtrails I've seen are Indiana and Missouri. Really haven't seen much of them anywhere else. But it was kind of poetic last night. One of the last things that I saw on Route 66 before I hit 40 West was these big giant statues. And one of them in the middle was Wonder Woman. I was like, well, of course it is. So when you really start looking at the world the way that he does, with a different pair of eyes on, the whole time my cruise control isn't working, my radio isn't working. So I have a small radio that's got solar powered, or I can plug it in. But I've just actually enjoyed the silence. It lets me think. It lets me see things that I normally wouldn't see. What I have seen driving through state to state, and of course this is number 12 that we're in now, is unbelievable. The devastation, some of the homes that people reside in that almost look like they could be condemned, but they're still living in them. Sometimes some of the cities, the crumbling of the buildings that have so much history, and they're just left for dead. I mean, it's just sad. And the trash. The world is not a trash can. Every state we've been in, Hannah knows the drill. If she's going to go out to do her business, I'm going to pick up trash. This morning, I found a garbage bag, perfectly intact, had a little bit of water in it. So I filled it up with cardboard box and all kinds of other stuff. It's not hard, people, to clean up after yourselves. I mean, I know that there are things that happen and your trash blows away, but it just breaks my heart. So I know it's breaking his heart. And it's put him in a rage. I guarantee it. He's in a wrath after the Super Bowl incident. I mean, coming out. What the frick? So it's interesting when you think you're on a road and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I'm not on Route 66 anymore. Where am I at? So at this point, I find a really cool gas station, real old time little diner with the gas station attached. And I go in because I need gas because I don't know where I'm at. I'm like, well, I'm driving willy-nilly. I don't have cell phone service. So I'm just kind of letting God lead the way. And it was called B&B. They were the nicest people, I can tell you. So I said, okay, I've been traveling on Route 66. I said, for the scenic route, I said, how do I get back there? And so they told me I need to go up to Prague at the light and turn left. Well, that was an eye opener in itself. I had no idea what I was about to encounter. I start getting there. It says, welcome to Prague, home of the Red Devils. I was like, oh, Lord, I know why I'm here. I didn't take a wrong turn. You wanted me to see. So I get to the light, waiting to turn left. And all of a sudden, all these pebbles start pelting my windshield, like out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, they don't like me being in their town. I've got too much light. I can tell already. And they're not coming from people that you can see. That's just coming from the darkened spirits that are floating around in that darkened little town. So I start driving, blazing a trail on 999, and I'm a 3 person, 333. So 9's always been my favorite number because when you flip it upside down, it's a 6. There's not a whole lot of numbers that, can do that. So, but 9's always been my favorite number. Hence 333 of Jeremiah, 333 for the YouTube channel. That's why I'm called Nat 333. Making a call to Jesus. Everybody that tunes in, we're calling heaven. I'm like, what better gift to give back to Jesus than keep calling heaven. So I start driving through, and all of a sudden I see this guy carrying something. I was like, what on earth is he carrying? Oh, bow and arrow. Nice. Okay. So I keep driving. Finally get landed last night and have to research Prague. Well, they have a shrine of baby Jesus that you need to pray to, but that's not what you think. Because if it were about heaven, well, then it would have said, welcome to the shrine of baby Jesus, not welcome to Red Devil country. So then as I dig further in my research, I realized that that's of the Catholic religion. And the name came about from the Czech Republic, whoever came over back in the 1800s or something. So you can Google search the city yourself to uncover what I did, and just a little bit of research. I said, oh, I've seen enough, Lord. I got it. I understand why I went. I'm going to tell you, you're talking about rain, torrential rains that went until 11 o'clock. So much torrential rains that my Jeep got stuck, but I ended up getting it out of being stuck. Then the wind starts picking up. So as I keep driving through through Oklahoma, and I pick all kinds of roads to drive in because I learned to see the world. Let's blaze a trail for Jesus. Then the winds really pick up to the point that I literally thought the hood of my Jeep was going to rip right off. So I needing an oil change because I had heard where my Jeep had been parked for months that had been leaking. I was like, okay, Lord, lead me, led me right to a Walmart. And I'm going to tell you, that Walmart that I was at, bar none, fastest oil change I've ever had in my life. And they took good care of me. And so I want to thank them for all that. She's purring like a kitten. So it gave enough time for the wind to die down. And I was like, oh boy, now what am I going to see? So as I keep driving west and all those little windmills, all of a sudden I'm like, what on earth? It's like I'm in the desert. What's all this dust? And I start sneezing. And I'm like, yeah, that's dust because I'm allergic to dust. And the closer I get, the more it's like the Sahara Desert. It's so freaking filled with sand, dust everywhere. And I still cannot, I didn't take the time to take a picture because I was too busy just in shock of what I was seeing after getting stuck from all the rain in my Jeep. I'm like, this is an act of God. And then I got chills throughout my body, which are truth bumps, thanks to my candy cane. I always said, yes, answers from heaven, but she calls them truth bumps. And I love that. I thought that was adorable. So I'm like, you're pissed, aren't you? You're mad. That Super Bowl really ticked you off, didn't it? And I'm like getting chills and chills and chills and chills and chills. So being allergic, we had to find a place to stay and found a Motel 6 that I'm going to tell you right now, they are the kindest people in the world. And what a joy to chat with a gal in the front desk because they don't have a Chick-fil-A in the area. So they had like a mobile Chick-fil-A that she was like, oh, did you eat? She said, oh, you did eat. She was so excited to share the news. And they were so helpful. They didn't have a blow dryer in the room. So a guy went and got it for me because I was like, I can't go get it with wet hair. It's 38 degrees out. I don't want to get sick. So, the love and kindness that Hannah Grace and I have gotten throughout these states has just been bar none. I mean, I can't thank these people and anyone that is watching, that has been on our path. Thank you for the love and kindness that you shared with us. Thank you to those people at B&B that put us back on our path out west. So we're looking forward to what today brings. It's a sunny day. There's not a cloud in the sky. Last night we heard this real loud noise, and I was like, what on earth is that noise? So I opened up the door, and it was already dark outside, so you couldn't see the multitude of them. But there was geese honking, like tons of them. And when I left my birth home state of Elkhart, Indiana, there were, I can't remember how many, my cousin Bonnie, my sister Bonnie, she counted them. So she knows how many, but they were honking when I was getting ready to leave, which I knew, yep, we're doing the right thing. It's time to go. So even with congestive heart failure, I put a flamingo pillow, because it's got flamingos on the front, on top of my chest, rest my arms on it while I'm driving, so it keeps the fluids away from my heart. And then when they get too bad, I've got Hannah Grace climbing on top of me to make sure that I don't kick off, so to speak. But pretty sure he's not going to let that happen. He's got plans for me. I don't know what they are, but I just keep getting in the Jeep and firing up Bianca, and off we go. So remember, God is love. He loves you. Jesus loves you, and so does Hannah and I. We hope you enjoy our 12th state, and we'll keep you posted on what comes next. Love to all bunches and bunches. Bye now.